Greetings and welcome to the Monday Morning Vodkast podcast. I'm going to be a Star Wars when I grow up. Ooh, nothing like taking medicine in the morning, huh? No, this is just water. I thought it'd be funny to fill this with water and walk around like the yard just drinking it. I don't know. That's my sense of humor, I suppose. Good morning, all you Billy Bumblers. How was your weekend? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I've been wearing this shirt for 3 days straight. I don't know why. I have all my shirts are clean. I don't think I have maybe one dirty shirt in the laundry right now. You know why? Because I do the laundry. You know why? Because I am the man, the myth, and the fucking legend. But only in my mind. Made a tribute video to myself once. You may have seen it. I'll put it in a card up above. There it is. See it? Is it here? Which way is it? It's that way. There it is. There's the card. If you want to see the tribute. Now, this is literally actually the first or second video I ever made in my entire life. I had my friend Brad by my side or on the phone for like 2 weeks on and off because I didn't know Premiere. I'd never used it before. I'm going to put this water down here. Hang on a second. You wait there. And I was moving from Massachusetts to Virginia, so I needed to get this video done because I wanted to secretly hand it out to my friends before I left. But I ended up just showing it that night because I think I ran out of blank CDs. I had like 5 copies, so I left those. They're out there. Maybe they're in a trash heap somewhere in a dump, rotting away. It's funny the things that you find online sometimes. I was in a band called Lunch Meat Circus, which you probably know about, and we made a CD and sold it, and gave away a lot of copies too. So there were a lot of copies out in the wild. Let's say somewhere between 300 and 500. I think that's safe to say. We sent out a lot of them and handed out them at shows sometimes. So I still have boxes in the attic. No, I don't. I have gray shine. It doesn't fucking matter. Every now and again, I need something Lunch Meat Circus that it's easier for me to go online to find than it is for me to search my computer. That's how vast my computer has become. The hard drives are just like the deserts of Tatooine. Actually, we're going to talk about Star Wars in a little bit. I want to get something recorded so that it's set in stone and it's my idea. And if from this day forth, anybody else tries to claim that idea, I guess Disney can because I don't own the intellectual property. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So during those times that I need to find these things, occasionally I'll stumble across these like independent music stores online that are selling old and rare CDs. And apparently I'm old and rare now, so I don't know if I like that or not, but I'll take it. And somebody's selling like Taste the Music for like $50, and I'm like, dude, I can go upstairs and get you 20. I'll just give them to you. You can have them. It's a long time ago. That's a lifetime ago, really. I mean, that was, let's see, I had to have been about 20. Yeah, I think I was 20 years old. So that's 26 years ago. That's crazy. Is that a classic? What's a classic? Is that 50 years? I don't know. I'm not sure. I was going to do the Toe of Satan this morning. I'm sorry, Rick. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I promise this week it's happening, probably tomorrow or Thursday. I'm feeling a lot better now, and I was raring to go, but my tummy's been weird this morning. Like I get it. My routine every morning is I wake up when Carol's getting ready to go to work so I can say goodbye to her. Then I go back to sleep for about, usually, honestly, like 20 minutes. That's all I need. Then I get ready, slap some clothes on. Oftentimes, I'll just keep wearing the shirt I was wearing for the last day, or in this case, last 2 days. And then I come downstairs and I start drinking water. But today I started drinking water and it landed in my tummy, and I'm still having this crazy, weird pain right here. I probably should take an antacid when I get up first thing in the morning for the rest of my life, because even water, I don't know, maybe it's stirring the stuff that I ate yesterday. I did eat, oh shit, guys. oh shit, it's not in here. It's in the fridge now. I had the opportunity the other night. Carol made French fries, like, chop, 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 and then she air fried them and they were fucking good. But she made them so that I could try the truff sauce, and that sauce is unfucking believably good. It is just the right amount of heat. It gets intense in your mouth for a minute where you're starting to get a little bit concerned, like, is this too much? And then it just dissipates almost quickly, like wasabi. It's sweet in the beginning, hot in the middle, and then just, flavorful, I guess, on the back end. That's when you get the real flavor of it. And I don't know what truffles taste like, unless they were trying to market them after the little chocolate truffles, because then I could see it, because it was definitely sweet. Sometimes I think about putting hot sauce on weird things. I almost put hot sauce on an Oreo the other day. I was Zooming with some friends, and someone recommended it because I happen to have Oreos there. I'm going to put an image up on the screen, and I'm a little embarrassed by it because it was a quick little sketch doodle thing when I'd smoked a bunch of weed, and I asked myself a question. Now you ask it to me, so it'll be more natural, like we're interviewing each other. Go ahead. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me build a time machine. I'll go forward in time, grab you, bring you back to this moment so that we can film it. That's too much work. I'll just tell you about it. Why do I need a time machine? Anywho, my Star Wars idea. I was high as shit, and I asked myself a question. The question was this. Let me preempt the question. The thing was this. Inevitably, there's probably going to be, probably. That leaves my doors open, so if I'm wrong, I can be like, well, I said probably. Inevitably, probably, Star Wars and Marvel are going to do some kind of a crossover. It may not happen for the next 10 years. There's probably enough stories to tell for another 20 years. It may never happen. I might be wrong. But they own both properties, and they've got to be thinking. They're working with the multiverse now. The multiverse theory in Marvel now exists due to Loki. So now there are still Iron Men that are alive in these other multiverses that, if Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. wanted to come back and play the role again, it's not beyond reason that you could bring him back now and just, say that his world blew up, but he was the only one that survived. I don't know. That's just silly talk. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. When you're thinking about, especially as a huge, Star Wars and Marvel fan, you've got to be really sensitive about this. You cannot go cheesy. You cannot go in your face. And so I've come up with a plan for Disney. Disney, if you're watching, this is my plan. Rohenro, nah. He was never a Jedi. This story would take place 1,000 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker, around that time. History has forgotten the past pretty much. The heroes are probably well known of, but they're not celebrated as much 1,000 years in the future. Who do we celebrate? Well, Jesus Christ. It would take place in the future. A character, similar to the Anakin story, I would say, where he was born onto a planet that he shouldn't have been born onto, but much more harsh environment within this mountain range of these toothy mountains that come up. And the council who runs this city or this town, village, it's not big. It's a clear division between the poor and the rich in this town. And the rich are very few and the poor are very many. The council doesn't want people leaving. They've told people for the last, 300, 400, 500 years that space travel has been shut down. You can't travel in the galaxy. The hyperdrive calibration tools no longer work with, perhaps there was an event in the galaxy. Nonetheless, it's all a lie. The space travel, everybody's zooming around out there. But this is such a remote planet out in the outer rim somewhere that it doesn't matter. There's a mining operation. I don't know. Maybe they make fucking pastries. It doesn't matter what they do, but what they do is how they make money. And how they make money, the people have no idea about because the council is the bad guys. So this boy is born into this, not slavery, I want to say, but just into this life, this harsh, cruel life. It's hard to grow plants on this planet. Everything is hard pan, ashy, gray, red stone everywhere. There are patches and trees here and there, but most of them are bare and they don't bear fruit. I'm just trying to paint a visual for you. Anyway, Rohenro, or Ro for short, is born into this world, and his mother dies. I don't have a story for that yet. And his father raises him. And quickly it becomes apparent that he is very strong with the Force, even though no one's ever met a Force user here in this little Gamor is the name of the town that they're in. Bro enters school, and his school immediately recognizes the fact that he never gets anything wrong on a test. He's always nearly perfect on his testing. He excels in sports. So he's brought before the head of the teachers union. I don't know I don't know what his fucking name is either. Thought I heard something. Thought it might be a Jedi. They ask him, they say, how are you able to do this? How are you cheating? They think maybe he's got like a neuro-bio-optical implant or something that he's able to use to, like, I don't know, X-ray vision or something, whatever Star Wars, just Star Wars-y stuff, And he says, I'm just able to see the answer before the question is ever asked. And they start to fear him because as he's starting to grow and go through school, he's starting to have visions of a future where his people will be traveling the galaxy again. It's kind of a Moana thing where, like, he really wants to go see what's out there. He's been here his whole life. Now he's about 17. At this point, like, he's become almost a political activist in a way. He's not, intentional about it, but he has some very strong spoken opinions about how the little folk have always been kept down and the big folk are lying to them. He believes, for whatever reason, through research or study or through the Force, that space travel has opened up again and it's possible. So he's given a vision, and at the same time, the council is brought in, and the head of the school and the council get together, and they come up with a plan they're just going to kill him. So they're going to outnumber him. He sends 6 guys as Ro is going out to this mountain range. He's supposed to, this vision is showing him a cavern with a chest in it and a door. And so he makes his way through the caverns, and he can feel now the Force pulling him. He doesn't know what the Force is. He doesn't know the word the Force, anything like that. And he comes to a chamber finally. He's led to this chamber where there are 3 dead Jedi. The bodies aren't there. He assumes that they turned to dust and faded away, but their clothing is still there and unharmed. And their 3 lightsabers are positioned in a row there. And the first one calls out to him and says, "Take me, wield me, and change the past." The second one says, "Wield me and save the future." And then the final one, the 3 voices come together and say, "This one is for you to choose your destiny with." So he takes the first one in his hand and he starts using the Force to kind of hover it around, and he ignites it, and the whole room comes ablaze with, this blinding green light. And it's then he feels the prickles on the back of his neck, and he knows that someone's approaching. So he calls the other 2 blades to his hand. He has them. He's got the third one just floating in the air, and they come in. They're kind of shocked to see him wielding weapons. They weren't expecting this. And his anger grows immediately, and he feels the darkness, he calls it the darkness, starting to creep in again. Like, he knows that he doesn't even need these weapons to just wipe these people out. With a thought, he could crush all their necks. And then he pushes it down, and he hears the voices telling him, "You must learn to be patient. You must not react to hate." But they start blasting, and so he deflects, and finally he takes the hand of every blaster hand of every man, and they fall to the ground, and he screams at them, "Leave now, or I'll take the other hand." And he feels the darkness again, and the voices again keep telling him, no, that's not you. That's not your path. Don't do that. And so they leave, and he's a little concerned now. He's like, I should have killed them. I shouldn't have let them regroup and, go back to town. But there's another plan in store for him. So he continues on his path. These Jedi are leading him. He's got his weapons now to this chest where he finds all these old runes carved into its Beskar hinges and pinnings and linings. And he opens it up, and there's this white satin thing. And within it is a full suit of modified, like, Death Trooper armor. There's the picture, you've seen the picture, what it looks like. So he dons the armor, he takes the weapons, and he's at the door, and he knows what the door is. The door opens to the world beyond worlds, and he knows the words to open it and the motions and how to use the Force to manipulate it. And he's basically having to make a decision at this point. He decides he's going to turn back and save his people, and the voices say, if you go now, you could save them. Kind of a similar Dagobah situation. But he makes the right choice. He realizes that there is no hope if he goes back. He has to go forward to be able to change the events of the past to fix save the future, which is actually the present. That's where he is now. So, boom. Flash forward. He steps through the door. He sees this network of just clear bridges. There's a weird blue lighting about the room, but it's basically like the backdrop of space. It's silent. Not a word could be heard, not a whisper, but you can hear footfalls falling on the floor as you walk across these hard panel dingy-mabobs. And all of these lead to doors. This is already in the Star Wars universe. If you've ever watched Rebels, you understand this. And so through these doors, you can get to events in the past. He goes through a door, which he feels the Force moving him towards, that leads him to San Marco, Texas. And that's where our story would pick up in the Marvel sense. I feel like it's a safe move because you have a superhero that's Force sensitive that doesn't know anything about Jedi, really. He's learning, but now he's in our world, and now he can interact with superheroes. You know what I mean? What's the closest superhero living in Texas in the Marvel universe? Boom, they bump into each other. You've introduced the Star Wars universe in a very gentle and innocent way, without, I think, hurting the fan base or without taking too much of a risk. I don't know. That's my thought. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool story. I think it's a cool concept art. I know it's really cheesy. I haven't drawn a cool action pose where he's holding, and those are cool too. I don't know about those. It's a little over the top, but I thought in the Marvel universe, it would make more sense if he had these cool, bracers where his lightsabers, could come out of. Maybe he keeps two of his lightsabers attached here and he can take them off if he wants to, or activates them as, kind of like claws. Kind of a Wolverine. So it's kind of, a little nod in both directions. And the story I wrote, I would post it, but it's just garbage. It's like 5 pages of what I just told you, just flushed out a little bit more. I don't know. I think it's neat. I think that's how you do it, though. I don't think you can do an extreme thing like bring an existing character over and have Spider-Man fight Darth Vader. If you do that, you've made the wrong choice. Don't do that, Marvel. They're smart enough that I don't think they would do that. My point being, though, that it's a touchy subject, and this took way longer than I thought it was going to take, so I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy your day from here. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and if you guys are loving watching these as much as I'm loving making them, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hit the little bell icon. Hit the little bell icon, Billy, and you'll know when I make a video for you. Oh yeah, we got merchandise down below in the link. If you really love the Vodkast that much, there's stuff down there. Take care of each other. Don't forget to make somebody smile today, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode of the Vodkast podcast. Take care. And boy, howdy.